off to another little home.
Project Serenity is such a beautiful community space. They've turned a monoculture field into a wildlife haven for humans and animals. There's barn owls, voles, geese, frogs, all the birds you can imagine. There's so much stuff there. It was just an amazing day out to go and visit. And Andrea, who is my friend, she runs classes and workshops, and it's just an incredible space. So we were so grateful to get the frogspawn. Here is the frogspawn the day after we got it, and this is a few days later. It changes so fast and so quick. So every day I've been going out and I've been recording little bits of it, and I've kept them in the glass jar until we could get the pond ready. And now the pond is ready. As you will see, they've now been released into the pond. Hello, it's the weekend. And I am doing the garden. So we have a little yard in our terrace house that we live in, that we rent, and I really want to encourage more wildlife to it this year. So that's distracting me, that tissue paper. So this year I'm introducing a frog pond, and I've been sharing over on Instagram the exciting steps that's happening with the tadpoles right now. So today I am finishing the frog pond, and I'm rearranging the yarden and making it better and more beautiful, and hopefully by summer it'll be full and abundant and lovely. So I didn't record the first part of making the frog pond because, well, I was just, so I'll be honest with you, sometimes I get up in the morning and I'm meant to go and do something like make breakfast, and I let the dog out, and then I go out in the garden and I'm still in my pyjamas and stuff, or my nightie, and I just start doing a bit of gardening, and before you know it I've been out there an hour, and then I think, oh, I've not even had a cup of tea, I better go in. So this is what I did with the frog pond. One day early in the morning I was just like, I'm going to do it now while I'm in the garden. So I didn't record any of it. And sometimes I think it's really nice to be in the moment. I think it's really nice that as people that are on social media a lot for our businesses and our lives and stuff, that sometimes some things we don't have to record. I actually did think when I was out in the garden, I thought, oh, I best go and get my camera and record some stuff. And then I was like, no, it'll just break the flow of what you're doing. It'll break the excitement that I was having at that point for building this frog pond. So I didn't record any of that, but I can tell you about it. I can show it you and I can tell you about it. So let's go in the garden. This morning I and my partner and I, Tom, we went to the garden centre and I got a bag of gravel. Now in the bottom of the gravel it's all like silty, like sandy silty stuff, and the gravel was covered in it. Now you don't want to put that straight into your pond because it'll make the water gross. So what I did was, this is a top tip, instead of taking the gravel out and putting it in a bucket bit by bit, I didn't do that. I left the gravel in the bag, cut open the top of the bag, stabbed holes with some scissors in the bottom of the bag and a few different places around it. And then I got my hose pipe and poured the water in the top of the gravel. So it filtered through and filtered through and filtered through, and it all came out of the bag, which is much easier because then you don't have to keep messing about with putting it in tubs and taking it out. And the bottom ones will probably need another wash, I'm guessing, by the time I've got down there. So I just left that draining before and it should be ready now. So let's go in the garden and let's see what's going on. So these are the stones that I got. They're like little natural stone pebbles, all in different colours. And they're going to go at the bottom of the pond. So they're a really nice size, and I like all the different colours. I'm going to also put them around the side of the pond as well. So as you can see, I've got 2 tubs which are going to be a dual pond. So in this top tub I've got bricks and like a pot that's got aquatic soil in it, and it's got gravel in it and bigger rocks so the creatures can climb up and get out. And then in this lower one, I've just started this one, got an upturned terracotta pot which I'm going to angle so it's going to be like that, and I'm going to put things underneath. So I'm just going to start filling that up with the gravel to push it up so they've got room to climb down and up and stuff like that. And then over there in the corner I've got a log which I got from the woods before, and I've also got this log which I also got from the woods before. And this is already wet, which is great, so that's going to be submerged into the pond as well, just to give things the opportunity to stand on stuff, float on stuff, and then they can get back out if they need to. And over there in the corner there's a pot on its side, so there's a nice little dark bit because this gets quite sunny, so you want to create spaces for darkness as well for them to hide with shade and everything. So this is the close-up of the pond areas that I've made. I've made a little hidey hole at the back for the frogs to overwinter, and there's plenty of steps and rocks and gravel for them to climb up when they get a bit bigger. And this tub is higher than the other one that's on the ground. I've done some planting at the back, and then we've got that big log that I showed you before, and this is rested on top of the terracotta pot which has got a hole underneath it. And there's a little gap, a little ledge underneath the log so they can go in the shade if they want to, and they can use that log to get back up into the other pond. And I've made sure that there's enough places all around for them to climb up and down if they need to. This big tub is our dog Stanley's burial tub. We didn't want to get him cremated or anything, we wanted to keep him and take him with us. So this is in the corner of our yarden. And then if you look here, you can see the little tadpoles whittling around. It's really hard to record because of the light off the sky, but you can see them if you're just careful there, so they've really grown bigger. So this is the garden as it currently is. You can see there's loads of pots and stuff everywhere, and it all needs tidying up. And this is the part that comes down from the back door that goes up, so it's quite a tiny space, but we can pack a lot in. And this is me feeding the birds. The birds always come every day and they love it, and I feed them on a tub so that it's not a hangy bird feeder because they make too much mess and then little ratties come along. I like ratties, but the neighbours don't. So I am back inside now. I've had a shower because I was full of mud, and I've got my nightie on, and I'm shattered. I've gone really tired from being out in the garden most of the afternoon. So the last bits that need doing now, I need to get some pond plants. I really want an iris. I'd really love a water iris. When I was a kid, my mum had a water iris in her pond, and I just thought they were so beautiful. So I'd really like one of them, and I'm going to get some, it's called frog bit, which the frogs can sit on. So I need to get some plants next and get them in there, and then wait and see what happens. But I'm really excited about it, and I think it's going to be lovely. So I planted up the plants that I got today. I got another lavender, some lemon thyme, some pink lilies. What else did I get? A saxifrage, which is like a saxifrage, maybe. I don't know how you say it. It's like a creeping plant, like a rockery plant. I planted up some violas. What else was there? Forget-me-nots, nasturtiums, and a wildflower butterfly seed mix. I did that as well. And then I transplanted my sage plant, which has been in the same tub for years actually. It's been in the same one for about 7 years maybe. So I planted that in a better pot with some fresh soil. So hopefully that'll grow nice and wild this year. And I also planted up I've got one rose. Well, I've got 2 roses actually. One that I bought, and then one, when Stanley died, the next door neighbour bought me a miniature rose, which was really cute, for his tub. So the big rose, I planted that up. I love roses. I think they're beautiful. I think they smell beautiful and everything. But I don't really like them in the garden, in a small yard or, you know, yard and garden, because they're very spiky with the thorns. Again, when I was a kid, my mum had loads of roses and I did like them, but I was always scared of hurting myself on them. So I think they look beautiful to look at, but until, you know, you've got a big enough garden, they can take over quite a lot. So I have got one rose in a tub, and every year it just gives one flower. That's all, just one. So I planted that up some more. And what else did I do? I think that's about it. I think that's all I did. Oh, I washed down the garden as well. I hosed it all down. So I've still got quite a lot of work to do out there. I need to jet wash it all the paving stones. I need to get rid of lots of the plant pots that are broken or old. You know, like they're not usable. And I need to tidy up and repot. I've got a honeysuckle that needs repotting into a bigger pot, and I can't think of what else I need to do, but there's lots of jobs. So it's still not done, it's still not finished, and they're never finished, are the gardens really. And I'm so excited to get my forever home and forever garden, whenever that may be, because then I can plant things in the ground and it's so much easier than planting in pots. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. So I'm shattered now. I've been watching Ben Fogle in the wild, where he goes and meets people that live in the wild. I've had a toasted tea cake and a cup of tea, and now I'm going to get on with my Patreon work. So every month on Patreon I give freebies away, so I'm going to get on with that. Also, I know you can't see them very much, but these curtains, I got them this week from a charity shop, and they're really lovely. They've got flowers on them and they're really nice. So yeah, I'm really excited about that, but because of the colours of them, they don't go with the mural I've been painting in the windowsill. You can't see it because of the bright light, but yeah, they don't go with the colours now, so I might have to paint over some of it anyway. So that's what I'm going to do for the rest of the day, do my Patreon stuff, and then look on Pinterest. I love being on Pinterest. And I'm going to read some of the book. I'm currently reading this one, The Familiars by Stacey Halls, and I love it. My friend Chris gifted it to me, and it's lovely. It's lovely and awful, actually. It's a book about the Pendle witches and about the time where they were all being rounded up. And it's a lady, a mistress of Gawthorpe Hall, where me and a lady off Instagram, one of my other patrons, I keep doing this because I'm under a blanket because I've gone a bit cold. One of my patrons on Instagram, she's got the same book, and so we're gonna go this month. We're gonna have an adventure to Gawthorpe Hall, and I last went there when I was 16 and I was at art college, and they showed us the costumes. Oh my God, it was just incredible. But I've not been since I was 16, so 31 years ago. So we're going to meet up and we're going to have a witchy familiar trip to Gawthorpe Hall. It's going to be amazing. Anyway, I digress. So the book is about the mistress that lives... Mistress, is that the right word? The lady that's married to the man that owns Gawthorpe Hall. I think it's a mistress. Anyway. Yeah, and she has an encounter with Alice, who is... I'm stopping because I don't want to say too much in case you've not read the book. I don't want to ruin it for you. It's just about... Should I tell you what it says on the back of the book? So it says, in a time of suspicion and accusation, to be a woman is the greatest risk of all. Lancashire, I wanted to say that in a right northern accent then. Lancashire, 1612. Fleetwood Shuttleworth, which is the mistress lady, is 17 years old, married and pregnant for the 4th time, but as mistress at Gawthorpe Hall, so she is. She still has no living child, and her husband Richard is anxious for an heir. Then she crosses paths by chance with Alice Gray, a young midwife who promises to help her give birth to a healthy baby. When Alice is drawn into the witchcraft accusations that are sweeping the northwest, Fleetwood risks everything by trying to help her. As the legendary Pendle witch trials approach and Fleetwood's stomach continues to grow, time is running out and both their lives are at stake. Yes, that was easier than me trying to tell you half a story and not give any spoilers away. It's a really good book, and I'm almost, well, I'm 3/4 of the way through. And it's very, what's the word? Poignant, maybe, because I live in Lancaster, where these particular witches were held at the castle here. And you can go into the castle here, and maybe I'll do a video on it one day. They used to walk them from the castle up the hill, up to Williamson's Park, to the Gallows Hill, and you can do that walk now yourself, and on the way there's plaques on the wall and everything, and you just think about it, like, and you can put yourself in their shoes, how horrible it must have been, just how bloody awful it must have been, and how incredible it is now that we can talk about being witches and talk about making potions and, you know, all these things and all these women coming together. Yeah, it's just fantastic. So it's a really good book, but also I've got to the point in it now where it's got really sad. But I recommend it. Anyway, I've waffled on enough, so I hope you enjoy the video, and I shall see you soon. And I just want to say a big massive thank you to all my Patreons that are on my Patreon page. It's called Dotty Delightful. All my Zine Club Patreons, all my Magic Support ones, all my Wild Creative Women. You are all flipping amazing. Absolutely amazing, and I have got so much gratitude in my heart for you all. I'm so grateful for you all, because you being on my Patreon really supports the extra work that I can do to help other people. So it's just amazing, it really is. So I just wanted to say a big thank you to all of you, because you're amazing. Okay, I'll see you soon. And also, if you want me to make a particular video about something, pop a comment in, let me know what it is, and I will try my best. See you soon.